what do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube, our Monday show, our Christmas special, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. If you're starting to think about the new year, just wanting to turn a new leaf, maybe eat a little better, look a little better, feel a little better, start with a Muskox flannel. It'll take time to lose weight. It'll take time to lose that second chin. A lot of habits will take time to form, but you can start by looking and feeling your best with a Muskox flannel. Go to gomuskox.com and use the promo code PEACOCK for $15 off your flannel purchase. Begin to change your life with a Muskox flannel. Jason.
What?
You alive, brother?
That was the guy we were sitting next to last night. That guy. We were bookended by that guy who was booing the Steelers. He wasn't booing the Lions at the time. But we were bookended between him and Steelers fans behind us, who were some of the worst human beings on the planet. Who was the lady behind us who was a Steelers fan but a Lions fan. She was rooting for both. I wish I had like 80 MGs. I could have just teleported back home on a magic fucking carpet ride to get out of there, because it was just. Anyway, how you doing? What do you want? Are we doing the show? Can I just play the Santa Rube thing and we get the fuck out of here?
I'm just glad you're here.
Talk about this.
I'm glad you're here.
Dude, this guy. Hold on. This MFer was doing this all game.
That's annoying. I don't know if I'm annoyed by the.
I mean, dude, he was nonstop. He was yelling at the freaking mascot, Rory. He was like, Rory. He was like, I mean, dude, this guy was nonstop. But anyway.
I understand the Steelers Lions fan if you're like 10 years old. I remember going to maybe I was a little older than that, but a Broncos Lions game at the Silverdome when I was wearing a Broncos hat and I was an Elway fan. Like,
smack that hat off.
You're a child,
Asshole.
you know. You can have these feelings, but you grow out of them. You cannot be. You have to choose. You can't.
You shouldn't have those feelings when you're a young child. You should be showing up and having a lot. Like, if you want to sit there and root for Elway outside of fucking the Silverdome or Ford Field as it is now, then that's fine. But if you're going to a game, you root for the Lions.
It's fair enough.
If my dad is taking me, I'm rooting for the Lions.
Fair enough.
What's wrong with these young kids?
I was confused. I didn't know where I was going.
Well, yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's up, man?
I'm good. Yeah. I mean, I was
just when you thought there was no other way to have your heart ripped out. Hold my beer, as the kids say. I mean, this fucking referee. Did you hear this last night too? And by the way, I have never been a part of more like a giant crowd that was confused. I've never, I'm usually the one confused. So when I'm looking around and everybody else is equally as confused as I am, it's one of the weirdest feelings I've ever had in my life. See this guy.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown, however.
We were cheering.
14 on the offense. By rule, that penalty is not enforced, and there
Stupid
is no
asshole.
replay. The game is over. There is no touchdown.
Why is it the penalty is not enforced? He could not explain it. The penalty is not enforced, so the game is over. It didn't make any sense. Made no sense.
Right back to back.
Yeah,
I mean, how do you do that as a Lions out of everything? First of all, the touchdown is not going to count. That's how you start that whole thing. I mean, I was impressed at the fact they got together. All the players are yelling at him. Everybody's trying to figure out. The crowd's going nuts. And then you open your microphone and you go, the touchdown is good. So then, dude, they even changed the scoreboard at the stadium. Michigan fan Jordan and I are embracing. The wives are embracing, even though T doesn't, by the way, what a terrible 24 hours for me as living with a Bears fan. Mm-hmm. We watched that game. She's fucking yelling at the top of her lungs, looking for a high five from me. Not happening. And then, less than 24 hours later, she's watching the demise of my favorite team, a rival of the Bears. I mean, it was a great 24 hours for Treese and Dominic and all you Bears fans. I hate you guys so passionately. Not really. I love you guys, but you know what I mean. Like I don't know what to do with myself. It
was the most Lions thing ever. That even after you get the Bears game and probable ending, team that didn't deserve to win wins. And you get and look, that happens in the NFL. That happens all the time in the NFL. The Lions probably didn't deserve to win most of that game.
No,
but you look at the Patriots down 10 last night and Sunday night against the Ravens, and it was one of those theme weekends where everything is going where these sort of last-second comebacks, teams that are down are coming all the way back. It works for everybody except the Lions, and this is when you know. I'm not saying there's going to be small attendance at Christmas Eve masses in Michigan this year, but it's going to be down. It's going to be down because this feels like some cosmic greater power is against the Lions again. That I understand that.
Well, the greater power that's against us is the injury bug and watching that offensive line and not being able to run the ball, and our defensive line who doesn't have many injuries and is getting gashed by Jaylen Warren. And I mean, it's just in the third quarter, Graham, the Lions could have come back and won that game. And I still thought that team was toast, meaning like going forward, having to win out. I mean, and then what are we going to do in the playoffs? Like this team is just absolutely ravaged by injuries. I don't even want to, the refs. I mean, we can talk. NFL refs are ass. I'm not blaming the game, the reason why the Lions lost that game on the referees, right? The Tesla interference. And by the way, Ford Field. How can we not get replays when we're at the stadium? They have to be really careful with this. Because I'm in that demographic where I'm, shout out Michigan fan Jordan for getting us the tickets. He always hooks us up. Shout out Ken Wall. But anyway, I got to say the in-game experience is kind of ass. And I was like, man, I wish I was at home so I could see. They never show a MFing replay. And apparently CBS didn't show this replay either on the TV side, I heard this morning. But being there, the lack of replays and the game experience, you miss a lot. And we had great seats. I hate to complain. But I feel like the game experience, Ford Field's got to up their game a little bit here.
I think it's a danger, and I understand the Lions are raking in bank and the tickets are expensive and all that stuff, but I think it's a danger in football, especially. We talk about it in college football where the commercials are really long. They seem longer than yesterday in the NFL. But
it's endless there.
And so when you get that and the experience in the stadium isn't as good, and I understand the TV money is bringing in a lot of the revenue, but you've got to make sure people don't just say, you know what? I'd rather be home completely.
Dude, that's me.
Yeah.
But I'm a homebody anyway, and I got the 3 TVs going, so I love being at home, and you can smoke weed whenever you want there. But, I'm just saying you have MGs flowing in these commercial breaks, especially when it's like a back-to-back where they call a timeout, go to commercial break, and then the quarter ends, and there's another one. And it's just like, dude, you forget, like, wait, we're at the 30. Okay, cool. So, anyway, the game experience there, the lack of replays blows my mind.
Here's first of all, I think you're maturing a little bit, but I also think you were previously defeated because you don't sound dead inside. You sound like somebody who was resigned to this fate before it even happened.
Right. When we were talking about this Steelers game and the 7.5-point spread, I just – when you have this many injuries, I mean, the guy starting at center, who the hell was this guy, the third-string guy? And by the way, we need to get Jack Campbell some help, too. I'm sick of this anal zone. You can take your shit. Get out of here. I'm sick of anal zone. You're not getting a contract. Let somebody else overpay you. Derek Barnes, Malcolm Rodriguez. I love Malcolm Rodriguez. He'll die for you. The problem is he's not very good. He's not an NFL linebacker. So we just need like 3 more Jack Campbells on that defense because I just don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if that's Shepard or whatever. But, I mean, the offensive, resigned to it. I'm not dead inside because I don't think any windows. I still feel confident in the core guys we have and Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I'm not. That's you can't go back to dead inside because I still feel confident in the organization. But
my one concern moving forward with like Goff and stuff was, and I thought Goff was. I mean, he's not the reason they lost that game. Not the reason. I mean, there were some plays
that safety was. I don't understand. He's going to have to explain himself.
Wasn't great. But he is now, when you watch the Bears and you watch the Packers, and obviously Jordan Love's been out, but he is now the 3rd best quarterback probably in the division.
I think you're just too hard on him. When you can't run the ball, I don't think any of those guys you mentioned, Caleb Williams or Jordan Love, in the situation Jared Goff's in, they're going to do the same thing. They're not going to perform any better than Jared Goff. Maybe it is. I just think Jared Goff is not the problem to be focusing on right now. We have so many.
100%.
I think if you protect Jared Goff, he's accurate and can get the ball downfield when he has time. The problem is that he can't create.
Jared Goff needs to redo his contract, though, for me to feel okay about Jared Goff.
He will. He's going to have to. It's going to have to be restructured.
He's got to restructure that. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because, and look, it's not like Caleb Williams is John Elway at this point, but he is. We saw some things late in that game, him do some things that were pretty special.
Absolutely, because he's younger and he's more athletic than Jared Goff. I'll give you that, but I don't think you blame where you start here is blaming Jared Goff about this.
But when you're the third best quarterback in your division, and even if that's not without two great ones, and even if you're not much below them, you can't be making $55 million. You can't be hamstring.
I'd pay him $50 million every day, all day. Look at some of these fucking quarterbacks in here. I can't hear that shit.
Those guys should be making $4 million. That's a whole different conversation.
I mean, that's a whole other conversation. But I'm telling you, if I have to pay somebody, I'm paying Jared Goff over some of these other quarterbacks that I see in the NFL.
Yeah,
outside of the top 10 at least.
Did you have a problem with the offensive pass interference calls, either of them?
On Amon-Ra St. Brown, I need to see the Tesla one from the other play. I haven't seen that one. The Amon-Ra, I mean, it's a little cheap. I mean, it's the right call, I guess, right? The pass interference on that. So yeah, again, it's not about the referees, and it shouldn't have to come down to that last kind of heroic, crazy ass play.
You can't give up. You can't give up 2 runs.
The defense was so bad.
Correct.
The third quarter. Yeah. That's when I saw the third quarter when we got I think 10 yards of total offense. They just couldn't do anything, and I'm going. Let's say they end up winning because Pittsburgh stinks on ice anyway, right? I mean, they're not a great team. We should have beat them, but when you have your offensive line and the defense playing the way it is, I mean, those are the two main factors. And, the refs being ass is just going to be a constant that we're going to have to deal with. But we got to get healthy at some point, and we have to get some depth on this offensive line. We have to get some linebackers that can make plays.
Well, the sad thing for the Lions is their season, usually the season starts in September. Next year it starts in mid-November because nothing matters for this organization. They can go 8-1, doesn't matter. Because what's happened the last 2 years means nothing matters until you're healthy enough to compete in late November and December. Yeah. And so that sucks because
but you still have to make the playoffs.
Understand what I'm saying is football season doesn't start again for another 11 months for the Lions. It doesn't start until mid-November because none of the shit matters.
All right. Well, what can I take to go to sleep until then?
Yeah.
Some Seroquel with NyQuil or something.
Got to be some sort of tranquilizer. Yeah.
Heroin.
Wrap yourself in about 40 muskox flannels and just
hell. And by the way, how did DK Metcalf not get kicked out? I mean, I saw the DK Metcalf punching that fan, regardless. I don't know what was said, but I saw it, and it was being passed around. But the refs. But they're not. It's not their job to patrol.
He's going to miss next week.
Getting punched.
He's going to miss next week.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It's just wild that it was going around the whole stadium. Everybody was watching it. How does someone not call down and be like, get DK Metcalf? If I'm Goodell, I'm like, get him out of there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how heavy-handed is he going to be on this, though?
I think he'll miss a game.
I mean, what if it comes out that this fan said some racial slur? Then it's different, right? Whatever the fan is claiming he said his government name, and then I know Ocho Cinco was on a podcast with Shannon Sharp saying that he did. I don't know if he talked to DK Metcalf.
You can't punch fans. You can't punch fans. You can't interact like that. He's going to miss a game. Even if
some of these fans deserve to be. I mean, not
I'm not saying he didn't deserve to be punched, but
right.
He's going to miss a game. You can't do
just
that.
One game though.
Yeah,
don't you think you have to come down a little heavier than that?
I think isn't there domestic violence policy 2 games? So I think you can only do 1.
Oh, since they weren't married, it's okay.
Well, I mean, what did Ray Rice get? I'm sorry.
Ray Rice is another story, dude.
I'm sorry. The NFL and their punishment is total bullshit.
I mean, if that video shouldn't have just ended in retirement right there. I mean,
and to be fair to Ray Rice, I've read stories that.
Be fair to Ray Rice.
Well, what I mean is
drag that chicken in a elevator.
Not for the video, but I'm saying for a lot of people who. I don't mean this to be a domestic violence podcast, but a lot of people who commit domestic violence get way less punishment than he wound up getting in life, and he's been been a redemption story from what I've understood. Let's get away from this topic. I don't need to go here. It's not. I would.
I know it was just funny to start it with shout out Ray Rice.
I want to.
But then at the end, it took 2 minutes to get for turning his life around.
It's worse. We'll fix that in post, maybe for real.
First time making the pain go away, dude.
First time ever.
But anyway, I'm just whatever. I blame Jeff Daniels.
Fair enough.
MFer doing that Bobby Lane bullshit with Peyton Manning.
By the way, Jeff Daniels sometimes stays in our summer home in Marquette. Not with us.
It's the whitest thing I've ever heard.
It's amazing. He stays in the same house.
Just when I think you're the whitest person I've ever seen.
No, it's great. He was at least one year we were there. He was supposed to be there the week before we were there.
Did he leave an upper decker?
He did not leave a.
That'd be funny.
He did not do that. That is a story not worth telling, but almost worth telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. We are going to have some good stories, a few good Christmas stories from listeners, and, of course, the legend of Santa Rube a little later in the show as well. All right,
in 4 hours.
And lots of Lions and Michigan State football, Michigan State basketball. I am going
Let's
to
go green, go God.
I've got a Michigan State basketball take.
Hit it.
So I wrote a column today, or last night, just about where Michigan State was. Michigan State basketball at Christmas, how this group stacks up historically, and why they're, why they have a chance to contend. And there are a couple things. One, it is probably the third best start under Izzo, which is pretty remarkable. Only 6 times in his 31 seasons have they been 11-1, or only had 1 loss or fewer. And none of the 10-2 start or 2-loss starts come quite this close. You've got a couple undefeated starts, both of which deserve to be ahead. The 2015-16 and 2000-2001 was some really good wins. That's probably the top one. 2000-2001. But after that, this is the third best start in 31 years under Izzo in terms of quality of wins, consistency, just how the team has performed and all that stuff. It's a really good start. And not all of those teams have some of them have done great things. I mean, if you look at some of the teams that are up there, the 2013-14 team obviously lost, in the Elite Eight, and the 2015-16 team, crapped out in the first round of the postseason. There are some years the 2017-18 team was up there, not quite there, and they lost in the second round. So it doesn't mean postseason success, but it always means usually a great season. And so that's a good omen for those things. But what was most interesting to me is I went back through this and put this together, and I used something Greg Kampe said on Saturday after Michigan State beat Oakland. He was talking about why Michigan State could beat any, and they played Purdue, Houston, and Michigan already, right? So he has a good feel for the top of college basketball. And he said that Michigan State can beat any of them, the physicality, the effort, all that rebounding, if they make shots. And so you go back through that, and then you talked also about Jackson Kohler, and that being the reason they can win a national championship. And I started looking at Jackson Kohler a little deeper here, and he's, at this point, basically turned himself into a combination of Joey Hauser as a senior and Xavier Tillman as a junior. Because his three-point shooting percentage for a big guy is as good as anybody with this sort of volume ever at Michigan State. It's basically a slight percentage point above Hauser was at Christmas at this point. I mean, Kohler is, he's 19 for 41, and he's well above, you think he's a little bit above Adrian Payne, who was 16 for 35 at this point. A.J. Granger had a better percentage, but only taken 19 threes. He was 10 of 19. Kenny Goins, everybody thinks of, remembered for one of the most famous threes in MSU lore. He was 6 for 27 at this point. Draymond Green, 13 for 42. Kohler is at that level. And then if you look at rebounds, averaging 10.3 a game, the last guy to do that was exactly 10.3 was Xavier Tillman as a junior in 2020. And before that, the last two guys to be above that or come close to that number were at 10.6 was Draymond Green senior year and Antonio Smith's junior year. Those are the guys. That's the company he's keeping as a rebounder, an outside shooter, and the physical. Now, I'm not saying he's quite the defender. What Tillman became as a defender that year of the pandemic was the reason they had a chance to win it all. It was not just what they had with Cassius Winston, but Tillman could shut down so many different varieties of forwards and big men. It was just different. And I'm not saying Kohler's there in that, but as a rebounder, as a physical presence, and as a stretch the floor four-man, big man, he's as good as Michigan State's ever had in the modern era in those categories. And that is, and Kampe bluntly said, he said, why I can answer that they can win a national championship is because of 0, talking about Kohler's number. 0 is unbelievable. That is, it wasn't like he was 13 and 13 in that game, but just the presence he has. There's some other things in there that I think are important too. We think of this team as struggling to shoot the ball, right? But part of that's because the last 2 years they've had these struggles. And they started this year, their first 3 games are 13 for 60 for 3. But since then, they're 74 of 184. They're above 40% slightly as a team in the last 9 games. That's not a team struggling to shoot collectively. And a lot of that's Kohler is 19 for 41. Kurt Teng, 17 for 43, 40%. Kurt Teng, everybody, that one of the reasons I think he belongs back in the starting lineup is because, and I know he's not consistent with it, but he's 17 for 43 on threes. He's 40% this year. It's not like it's some small sample size at this point. Divine Ugochukwu is 11 for 23, although a lot of that is one game. We'll see if there's
great game,
consistency.
though. That one game was great, though.
I think Jesse McCulloch, who's 5 for 9, is he gets a little more volume. That's going to continue. We'll see what happens with Jordan Scott, who's 7 for 27 this year, but he's 6 for 14 over the last 5 games. So the shooting aspect that there's concern about, and you do have to hit shots on a given day. Campy talked about the year that they made that NCAA tournament run, and pulled that early upset. They hit like 15 or 16 threes, right, in a key game. And you're going to have a game where you shoot well. And I don't know if we should entirely trust that. But this is a 40% three-point shooting team in the last 9 games, Michigan State. And Kohler in the post is doing things as well as any big man other than, that's ever done it, shooting it and rebounding it in the Izzo era. So, I mean, those are positives. Your point guard is leading. He and Braden Smith are above the rest of the country in assists. He's got Fears is at 9.2 by more than a full assist a game. They've got they've just got a lot of things going for them. They've got the best Izzo teams have had freshmen who can contribute but aren't asked too much of, and Michigan State has that, right? They have that athletic on the break wing in Cohen Carr, he's a flawed player in some ways, but he gives you something with athleticism that raises who you are. Well, I mean, he's
flawed. How?
He's not a perfect player, right?
I mean, who is?
Correct.
Jordan.
They don't have a ton of they don't have consistency at shooting guard. Obviously, they don't have a great secondary ball handling. They don't have a guard or wing whose best skill at this level is getting a bucket when you absolutely need one. But they've got a lot, and they've got enough. And I think, there may be, Michigan may wind up being a team that's just one of the great teams, a 2012 Kentucky, 2009 North Carolina. We'll see. Maybe Michigan's too much.
2009 Carolina was tough.
Well, Michigan's putting up numbers like that right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Michigan becomes, and those will be incredibly interesting games. But Michigan State has the goods on a given day to beat anybody, I think, and they haven't always had that. Like last year's team sort of had that, but would have needed a lot more to go right. This team physically stacks up. You put this team against Auburn, the Auburn team that Michigan State faced last year, I think they beat them half the time. And last year's team was going to win once or twice out of 10 games against that Auburn team. And that's the difference. It wasn't that last year's team didn't do certain things better than this year's team, but the improvement of Kohler, who was at like 7.5 rebounds, 3 more rebounds a game, the improvement of Cooper, the improvement of Fears, some of the additions, just sort of the length and the physicality of this team. This team's better, and they're better equipped to face teams down the road. Now, there's a long way to go. This is just Christmas, but none of the teams that have been this good this early have like fallen apart. Now, a couple of them have been upset in the NCAA tournament, but none of them have like fallen apart or had bad seasons or anything like that. So that's a good omen for Michigan State basketball.
Except America has gotten soft.
By the way, how excited was the media when Greg Campy came in, pulled up a chair next to Izzo? Like, you guys,
it's the best. It's the best.
I know, but I just love how the media is like, if you love college basketball, pull up a chair and listen to these two talk. Well, I just love that you guys are so like, yeah, dude. Campy and Izzo are always it's like Stephen Brooks laugh. Oh, these guys are great.
He had some good insight, but also, I
love the Christmas sweaters.
It is fun. It is a fun thing. The Detroit media really laps it up because this is their moment. A lot of Michigan State fans are like ready to move to the next game and all this stuff, but a lot of it's a great press conference, and those guys are great personalities.
It doesn't suck, yeah.
It's
no Jim Boeheim post game presser.
It's the one time on the road or something I don't go to the Michigan State's locker room because I'm not missing any of that press conference. And in fact, it took so long that the players had all left. There was no locker room access because the players had already left. That's what his own Campy did.
Sorry, Carson. Can't interview you right now. I got to go.
Yeah, it's why you couldn't do that game after game.
I'd like to stare at your thighs, but I got to go to this presser here.
Thighs are telling, All right, do you have another take, sir?
Oh, by the way, did you watch any of the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua fight? It was on Netflix. We decided. I have to say, it was kind of entertaining because people are all mad that boxing's already ruined, right? I just thought it was... If you're, it's not like you paid $99.99 for some shit like that. I know Jake Paul is annoying. It was fun to watch Joshua absolutely hammer him. But the funny thing is that if you watch, like, a lot of the gambling around it is so interesting. Like, all I saw on some of the apps was plus 150 Anthony Joshua to end it in the first 2 rounds. When you knew, like, watching that fight, like, I can understand when people get mad because the fix was in. That dude Joshua could have knocked Paul out in the first round, I think, right? But it just seems like there's so many things surrounding these things that make it so scammy and schemy. But in the grand scheme, like just watching it, it was kind of interesting. I thought it was, a good performance. I mean, Jake Paul, he was grabbing the guy's legs. But, I mean, you did get a couple shots on Joshua, but, Joshua broke his jaw in 2 places. I love boxing, and it sucks to see it in the state that it's in right now, the way boxing is.
Used to get it's been a long time since I've been really excited about a fight.
Well, it's impossible because it's all this Jake Paul bullshit that you get suckered into, or like Mike Tyson, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" They show a clip of Tyson like looking unbelievable in a 30-second clip. You're like, "I think Tyson could do it," and then you get all like fucking jacked about it. It's kind of like watching a Lions game, And by the way, back to the Lions game, the third down bell. I've had enough of that. I stopped standing. Like you can't sit there and stand up every bell, dong. Dun, 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 the AC/DC thing, and then they fucking just throw an easy first down wide open because anal zone can't cover anybody. But anyway, all right, that's it.
I got one more take.
All right.
So a lot of people are upset about the group of 6 teams, the smaller schools being in the playoff, and of course James Madison, Tulane didn't exactly compete and show up.
Hey, James Madison put up a fight. That's what I'm being told.
Well,
the end.
Eventually, yeah, it did screw me on a line that I thought I had covered. It did not.
So it screwed you both ways with your take and gambling.
Yeah, but nonetheless, there's a lot of smugness out there, and people don't want them in and all that stuff. And
me.
And look, I
don't need to see either one of them ever again.
And I was over, at Brad Hoos. The
name dropper.
Yeah, a founder of Muskox Flannels. I was at the Muskox Empire. Met his family, some of his friends, just great people. The genius behind the Muskox flannel. Go muskox.com, $15 off with the promo code Peacock, by the way. But anyway, it is fine to think James Madison and Tulane don't belong in the playoff. But you should do so acknowledging that the only reason they don't belong is because of a new system in which all their players are stolen. Okay? Like, it's fine. Like, you have to have that caveat. The system was created before their players are going to be stolen, and maybe we need to reassess. And maybe we need to look at whether the whole thing can work if those schools aren't allowed to live the dream. But the results before the transfer portal was exactly what it is now, and NIL and the rev share and everything like that, was not this. People are just sort of living off old brands and unsophisticated takes, and they don't belong. Because if you go back, not just before the playoff, really, when you look at the New Year's Six bowls, which is essentially what the playoffs were, right? Top 12 teams, 4 got in the playoffs, the next 8 were New Year's Six bowls. So if you go through those teams, 2022, Tulane beats USC. 2019, Memphis competitive with Penn State. 2018, UCF competitive with LSU. 2017, UCF beats Auburn. 2016, Western Michigan was really close against Wisconsin. 2015, Houston beats Florida State. 2014, Boise beats Arizona. Like, this is not the way it was. When this system was created, the idea was not these guys didn't belong. It was what's changed is they no longer have the high-end players. And so maybe that discussion needs to happen, but we need to understand that the system's changed on them, not that these schools always sucked or this is the way it always is. And the smug national – and here's the problem. I'm so annoyed by the smug national media. I want people to watch shit football and suffer. I want to add a team and make James Madison, Tulane, and a MAC school in there. So there's one more bad game. And I'm just kidding a little bit to that degree, but I cannot stand the lack of sophistication on that. Like, people need to understand that this was not a problem until this new system was created. And the new system is in here. It's not going anywhere. These schools are not going to get better. And so maybe a conversation needs to be had. I still believe there needs to be a path for them. And that path probably includes just one of them getting in because they don't play the same schedule throughout the season. But there ought to be a path for one of them to be in. I still think that's important, and really path for more of that if they earn it. But there ought to be one spot, and 2 got in. And the way it's structured, with you got a game Friday night and 3 Saturday, and 2 of them are playing Saturday, and these are the games that get to be on campus site, so they're the most fun of the playoffs. And it did take something away from it. But understand this was not the system as it used to be. These schools were not overmatched a couple years ago. They're overmatched now because their players are no longer – their players are playing on the other team now, and that's why. And so as long as you can say that and understand that and your take includes the sophistication of that, that's fine. But otherwise, bugger off.
Bugger off.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's what I've got. That's what I got. Are we ready to dig into these
I
lists?
believe you're rooting for people to watch boring stuff. You'd rather watch James Madison.
At Christmas, I'm rooting for people to suffer. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's very nice of you. Eric Schultz up first. Number 1, couches you need an auto bid from a group of 5 take is wrong. I used to agree with him. I don't now, and here's why. 2, since there's been a college football playoff committee for 12 years, 6 non-power teams have finished in the top 12. Average of 1 every 2 years. That's plenty often enough for teams to have hope. And 3, if they're going to make it so no one gets in automatically, whatever. Can't let 2 in.
The 2 in's the issue, and the ACC's tiebreakers created that. And I'm good with not having 2 in. The problem with number 2 here, Eric, is if I don't trust the college football committee. When I picture the college football committee, I picture like 12 Joel Klatt sitting there, right, with the 12 Paul Feigenbaums. I think if you give them a chance,
a lot of penis.
If you give them a chance to leave these teams out, they will. So in terms of the ranking, so if they have to get in by being in the top 12 and they don't have an auto spot, I think they'll get in less than every other year. I think they'll get in once every 3 years. I think if they can be left out, they will be left out. And so I just don't trust those people. That's why.
Dominic, number 1, Jason deserves a hug after today's game, but not from you, Couch. 2, I sent Couch hate messages during the Bears game when it appeared they were doomed. They pulled it out of their ass, but I regret nothing, Graham. 3, just keep Spot full-time until the weather warms up. And bonus, I wish I could be at one of Couch's big holiday dinners, sitting around the table, and someone asks what gifts you and the wife got each other before the donut-voiced reply, "We don't do gifts. It just works better for us." Followed by 17 minutes of awkward silence.
That's not how it works. It's great. It takes so much stress out of it. I mean, we do stocking stuffers. We do little things, little gifts, but not big gifts.
So what's in the stocking? Like
what
kind?
Small gifts, and there may be a gift below the stocking and candy and
what
fun
does that
things.
mean?
Well, if it doesn't fit in the stocking, the problem with stockings is they're you can't fit everything in there. Sometimes
you don't have to put everything in the stocking. What is this?
If you
have something that you want to give your wife, dude, put it in a box.
Correct. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you do give gifts. Then.
Well, not really, but it's the idea of it's a stocking. It's not like a gift you would give.
Doing it to be like.
We're not doing it for anybody's.
Like, man, we don't give gifts, man. Like what?
The only reason I share it.
Well, I give her a gift, but it's outside. It's in a box. It's a little bit bigger than like. There's so many things to it. There's like layers. It's just fucking exhausting with you guys.
It's only exhausting because
just say you give gifts though. I think you like saying that you don't give each other gifts, but then you just admitted you give each other gifts.
Well, very small gifts.
That's a fucking gift.
Yeah, but it's not
so
really
it's in a sock, dude.
But hold on. There's so much more pressure if you're giving gifts. Like if you have to.
My
give
wife is not going to divorce me, and when I give her stupid
but see,
shit.
we have like a dollar amount limit too, so it keeps it tight. Yeah. Anyway,
why does it have to be that way? You know,
it just helps.
Like if one of you wants to spend $100, I don't know. Is it that big of a deal? Like
we're not. I'm not knocking anybody else's way. I'm just saying for us,
I need a price. This is out of bounds. Fucking weirdo. Maybe. Norm needs a buddy. Most shelters won't let you get one cat because it will develop neurotic behaviors like keeping you up at night. 2 cats are not harder to take care of than 1. That sounds exactly like somebody would say, though, at one of those places. That's why I can't go, maybe, to one of those places. You understand me? I love animals. I would like to have multiple cats. I'd be a cat weirdo guy. I get that. I just don't. We can't. Anyway, bonus. Joining a fantasy football league with the family of Jason's favorite MSU quarterback, and losing was an honor. Tony Banks? You were in Tony Banks' family's league? That's sick.
It's amazing. I need to know more.
Who's she talking about?
Is it who's your favorite MSU quarterback of all time?
Tony Banks, right? Or Dan Enos. My dad used to hate Dan Enos. Oh my God. When he had season tickets that one year. Oh my God. All I heard about was Dan Enos' ass.
We need more.
Dan Enos.
We need more information.
Listen, I just, how is that possible though? The 2 cats, I understand that he'll have someone to play with, but dude, double the kitty litter, like double the food.
Yeah, I'm not.
Dude, I mean, I love animals. Get on this guy over here. Get on Couch. He's the one that lets the cat out in negative temperatures.
Here's my concern. Like,
them.
Spot is territorial. Spot is like the Omar from The Wire of our neighborhood. Like Spot, the only time I've ever seen Spot with another cat, Spot nearly killed the other cat. We've never seen.
Yeah,
it
dude,
since.
he's got to be a gangster. No one wants to keep him in a house, so he goes house to house. Yeah, dude, he didn't want to be that way. He was not born to be this way.
You know that
poor Spot. It wasn't even his original name. Now he's got nicknames and shit. He's got a teardrop tattoo. I mean, what the fuck?
You
poor
know that
Spot.
Farmer in the Dell whistle that Omar used to do? That's when I see Spot. That's what I picture, this little long
You're too
gun.
white. You're too white. The whistle doesn't work. Sorry. Andrew Gauthier, number one, if the Lions aren't solely focused on pass rush and offensive line maulers in the first 3 rounds next year, it's time to start getting concerned. And 2, loved watching MSU backups getting serious minutes versus Oakland, but it might be time to start trimming the rotation.
I think they will. Chris Solari has a term that I use in a column today. He always calls it. He calls what Izzo does manufactured adversity, and I think we saw some of that. He doesn't want to blow Campy. Like some of those lineups were.
He doesn't want to blow Campy. I mean,
blow Campy out. Oh, blow Campy out. Out.
You got to finish. You got to finish those. Dude.
Sorry. Yeah. The press conference. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway,
69 and over here.
No, I when you look at some of the lineups that he put in there, guys that you just don't usually see in with each other in there, and the amount of Denim Wojcik and all that stuff, they were not. They could have found more momentum. If that's an NCAA tournament game, it does not look like that rotation-wise.
Jay Brew next. Graham will say, I think we have a good show for you today. I think we have a good show for you today. Best take. The next Lions quarterback is a current backup in the NFL.
Ooh.
Yeah, whatever. What does that mean? Who? Give me a name.
Yeah.
Why? No, it's not. That's not true. I mean, what?
You're panicking this moment.
I'm not panicked. No, I'm not panicked. Give me a fucking name, though. I mean, you can't make a take like that and not give me a name. This is not Jared. Are we anti-Jared Goff? I don't think I'm what? Okay. Are we done? David Jackson, if Cohen Carr could play within himself and not think that he's either Curry from deep or a passer like Jason Kidd, he would average 15 points with 7 rebounds. And is he ever, even once, going to score on a baseline lob dunk in the half-court offense, a la Cleves to Mo Pete versus Iowa State?
That's something we saw a lot last year from him. It was a way that you knew he was sort of figuring out how to integrate himself into the offense. He was much better in the half-court, and a lot of that was, cutting back door and lob dunks. Cohen Carr's got to keep shooting threes. He made one in the second half because for a couple reasons. One, if you tell Cohen Carr to stop shooting threes, if Cohen Carr stops shooting threes, then he's giving up on his pro basketball career. Like at some point, he needs to be able to make them. And if MSU's the place where he has to do that, that's fine. But otherwise, you better just leave now and go dominate in Europe. But I do think you're right in the sense, and he did a good job of this. As soon as it wasn't working, he started going to the basket. And he needs to do that more, and he needs to be a better rebounder. There are things he needs to do better. There's no question. But I don't think giving up on open threes is it. And there are moments where, and I thought this was important, like he has a good understanding of when his shot's not on or when it's not the right shot for him. And and I think he moves the ball pretty well and sees it. There was a pass to Jesse McCulloch that wound up being a shot late in the clock because he got the ball on the kick from Fears, and it was like, I've already missed 2 of these threes really badly. What do you want me to do here? And McCulloch hit a guarded shot, and he went to the better shooter. And I think as long as he's got an understanding of who he is and how his game's going that day, I think that's fine.
Richard Kane next. The Campy Izzo presser was really interesting. Yes, they glazed each other a bit, but they, especially Campy, offered some very astute analysis. It's too bad we don't get more pressers like this. And bonus, my biggest concern with MSU hoops right now is the inability to consistently extend a lead and put teams away. It's clear that whatever the ceiling is, it'll depend on Fears.
I wouldn't, rely on Oakland for that. Now, I understand that the second half against Toledo got a little sloppy too, but they had a huge, huge lead at that point. We're going to find out real quick about this MSU team, and it's not just Cornell. Cornell is kind of a tune-up game, but January 2nd, Nebraska is the toughest game I think they will face on the road until they host Michigan on January 30th. So, like the bookends of the month, I think we'll find out real quick where they are, and they have not been tested on the road very much this year. They got the Penn State game, but Penn State's nowhere near the level of this Nebraska team, so that will be different. And in terms of those pressers, it is incredible. Yeah, there's just you're not going to get that with 2 coaches who don't know each other. It works in their situation, and it's fun in their situation, and it does change the pressure. There are times that presser wouldn't work. It works because they give you enough of the fun Christmas stuff and their personalities and friendship, and they also give you some basketball stuff, and it's actually really, I think, a great presser in that sense. You're right. There is more astute
But
analysis.
if other coaches were friends, would that be so crazy if they had a joint presser and just talking ball?
It would be fun
talking
to do
about
once
each
in a
other's
while.
teams. Like, what is this? Why is it such a considered some feat that two coaches can't just sit down and talk about each other's teams?
Like I think
I don't know.
Brad Underwood and Izzo could do it.
Right. I'm saying,
I would
they
like
have to have
see
a
that.
rapport.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to put just coaches together, right?
And you can do a little on your own, a little like Izzo started his. Like I would love to see that where one coach comes in and then the other coach leaves it. And I do. Okay.
Why not?
Okay, yeah, I'm in.
Makes it easier for you guys, right? Eric Smith, it's going to be good versus evil in the MSU basketball games with Michigan this year. Complete opposite way of building programs. And bonus, I like Fitzgerald's staff hires.
We'll get into that in a little bit here because I do think some people have a different take on that, and there's a good conversation on what's going on with the staff hires. But the in terms of the opposite way, it is sort of a difference, right? You have, and evil is too strong because this is the way you build a program. But I understand this is it's a manufactured, bought team that Michigan has that isn't like ingrained in their culture and all that stuff versus what Izzo's more traditionally done with with developing and 4 guys who have been a part of the program. So that will be one of the storylines going forward.
John Naughty next. What a difference 1 month and 401 million makes. MSU's fan base has new life, and it was all over Little Caesars Arena. In-town people, out-of-town people, people far and wide all came, and the game had little consequence. Even Coach D showed up. Other Sparty greats everywhere, too. Arizona tanned Ishbia got off his hands, finally, and wasn't too cool to clap. Jay Batt seems confident. We are entering another golden era of MSU sports. Enjoy it, folks. Go green.
Let's go green. Go God.
Go God.
Probably a little early for that. And the other issue is that, how long the era's left? Izzo's 70, so the football program's going to have to catch up while Izzo's still got some time left. But it's a better era than it was a couple years ago. There's no question about it. And
you just can't let John live?
Sorry. No,
John's having a good time, and then it's like, not so fast, my friend.
John is
Christmas, dude.
John is vacationing in Aruba right now. John is doing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh.
I didn't mean to.
So shit on him
that.
then.
I didn't mean
if
to.
you're in Aruba, we're gonna shit on you, John.
Tell people where you are. And
take. Enjoy Aruba. Nephew Fred of Southern Maine next. Number 1, can anyone top my worst bet of the year? Took the under on the Patriots season win total.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could go through my apps. I bet you I got one.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you have one offhand?
No. I'm just thinking if you skim it through.
Yeah.
Land on
I had one. Like one of those things where you can bet a bunch of teams to make the playoffs or not make the playoffs, and I would be hitting it. I even was nervous about the Lions and stayed away from them, but my Carolina Panthers not to make the playoffs is going to bite me. I just every time they win, I'm like,
didn't want to bet on the Lions, huh?
I mean,
you're just about to tweet that out too. Tell everybody. Thanks. 2, Biff Poggi has bitch tits. Does Muskox make a flannel to help Biff look as good as you? And 3, whatever John Morton did wasn't bad enough to cost the Lions. Campbell self-sabotaged.
Yes, Muskox flannel is great for bitch tits. If you are a man,
Biff Poggi would test the theory on Muskox.
Yes.
So it would be the one we would put on to go.
I think we would all like to see Biff Poggi in a Muskox flannel because I would.
And not to rip on Biff because I'm trending toward Biff
me
pitch.
too. Yeah,
a Biff Poggi tits. It's tough to say. But I'm on my way, I think, to titty. So it's going to be all Muskox.
As a man with breast, it's one of the great things Muskox does for me is cover these things
Dude,
up
I need
and
to
make
do
me
some
look
push-ups.
defined. Yeah,
Let's take a break.
It's not.
It's getting so soft and titties. It's so worse.
And by the way, if you're in this situation again, New Year starting up, or you know somebody you think would look really good in a flannel or could use that, you just want to give them the gift of quality and comfort. Go muskox.com, right? And the Peacock is for $15 off. There's some great flannel offerings, new flannel offerings, some old standbys. You deserve better from your flannels, and Muskox is here to give it to you. The John Morton, if you had to go back, would you keep him as the
yeah, dude. I'd sign to an extension. Yeah. Him and Anal Zone. What do you guys want? Open book. No, he's going to be gone, right? He's out of here.
I'm just saying this year if they've been.
I don't think the play calling is as bad if we can run the ball. If we can protect Goff, we can run the ball. I don't think has anything to do with the play calling or Dan Campbell. I mean, do you want Dan Campbell fired? A couple of those on MFers on 97.1 on the way home last night from the game.
Jesus,
I wanted Campbell fired. I know, it's just like what
come
the
on,
fuck,
guys.
Man?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Jay Riemenschneider, last show, 17 damn people say cue this, play that, drop, etc., and you oblige. I ask, and I'm the only one denied and cussed out. What the F is up with that, huh, Jason? Is it because I like the Wolverines, isn't it? I mean, my best friend's a Michigan fan. What are you talking about?
No,
I mean, what did we play? We played the...
here's what I've noticed, and this is not Jay's. This is early in the show when you've got energy and it's not hot as hell, and and somebody's like, play this, you're in late in the show, I think, where that was.
Not true.
No? Okay.
No, if it's funny, I'll play it. It has nothing to do with it. We played the last clip because it was what someone considered you falling for the Blumpkin thing. I mean, as far as the sound bites go, like, I have to find it funny myself. Like, I understand what you're saying, and if you give me a timestamp, I'll go back. Like, it just may not hit me and go on my board. Like, this is my board. I like to play what I like. This isn't the Jay Riemenschneider fucking show where I get to play what you want to fucking hear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it has nothing to do with you, right? I don't
appreciate you, Jay. Happy holidays.
17 damn people. This guy, Kurt Wisniewski, the shining light. What? You still love him? The shining light.
I appreciate Jay. I think Jay's been a long time guy who asked a question. You know, it's all. Jay's been a long time listener and a contributor.
Kurt Wisniewski, the shining light through all of this is Drolette's 12 days of couch in the rubeness. Bonus, it's shockingly comical to read Michigan experts and fans still pining for DeBoer. Michigan will end up with David Shaw.
Matt Drolette has been phenomenal. The trough one was really good, too.
I like you looking at the urine flow in the trough, all excited.
It's amazing.
It's a weird thing to be excited about.
It's amazing. If you haven't seen that on the Twitter account, it's worth doing. Even if you don't have Twitter, just look up the Couch in the Roof Twitter account. I don't know where Michigan's going to wind up. I saw the report.
Tony Anisi.
Saw the report today that they're playing
huge one. The huge show tells you that.
Yeah, it's not going to be
Tony
Anisi. Not going to be Tony Anisi. But I don't know where it's going to go. I don't. And I mean, they'll be fine. They'll get a good coach. It's a place that has lots of advantages, and there are lots of people who can win. It's Brady Hoke won there. No, he didn't. Never mind.
Damn. Spartans 18770. The week between Christmas and New Year is the most unproductive time in the workplace. This country should just declare it as a national holiday week and allow us to enjoy the time without using PTO. Enjoy your holiday break, fellas. See you next year. That's right. Appreciate this is the last show, right? We're not doing another one?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I guess
something happens.
Yeah, there's a chance we could do one the Monday after Christmas. But Michigan State basketball plays that night, so it wouldn't be like a take show. We would come in and do an interview. Like if Michigan hires a coach and the Lions have some amazing result and there's lots of interesting things that have happened and we feel like doing a show.
See you guys in 26.
Yeah, could happen. I agree. This should be a week that you shouldn't have to save vacation between this week. Let's all enjoy.
Because you go into work and you basically just half-ass it anyway, right?
Correct, but you're just missing time, and it's a waste of. Yeah.
It's like we're in the building, but it's kind of
Well, I know in our business is the same as others in this sense. A lot of
you guys are always grinding, though.
But a lot of our sources are gone. Like, good luck trying to get a hold of somebody you need for a story this week. It's not ideal, and you don't want to interrupt people when their time off. If ever we all just agreed, like, hey, we're off, that would be great.
Kevin from Rochester Hills, number 1, the Lions are back. 2, Izzo treated Oakland like a practice. And 3, Santa Rube is a role model for today's youth.
If you've never heard the Santa Rube story, we will play that later.
Yeah.
It's good. In
2022. It's not from the live telling.
Yeah, but I think that may be the best version that you've told. You've told it several times really well.
I don't know. I had to listen back. I almost puked. So I hate listening to myself. It's so bad.
It's good. We'll play that in a bit.
Max Spade, that was a flashback to the same old Lions. I can already hear Jason say, I've never seen anything like that before. Why does it always have to happen to the Lions? Well, I mean, am I wrong? I mean, come on. Last night was fucking wild. I didn't expect anything like that.
But we've had a number of those this year. The Vikings loss at home was the first time this year that I was like, gosh, that really felt like 2013, 15. You know what I mean? Like, there have just been.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just so absolutely bizarre of the ending. I mean, it was brutal. Then the ref getting on the mic and saying, oh, touchdown. Nullified. It's like, Professor, the interior offensive line crushed the Lions this season. No interior line, no running game, no play action. And bonus, rest in peace, Rob Reiner. What a catalog. Not Hallmark Channel good, but still good.
Yeah, Rob Reiner was. I mean, you forget just how
many. Another one for the don't have kids people, though. Am I right?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, that's.
Well, I mean, rest in peace. I mean,
yeah.
If we can talk about it now. It happened a couple weeks ago.
It's the worst case scenario with a child, though. pretty much.
Your kid killing you?
Yeah.
What would be another worst case scenario? That's the worst you can.
Well,
your drug addict son, you got so much money. It's always. Oh, fuck.
Some people might argue
Kids
that
are ass.
having a child who passed away would be worse. That you love.
Well, shit, if you're going to bring down the show time.
I'm sorry. Yeah, this is bad. This is
holy hell. I didn't expect you to actually give me another example.
Yeah,
it was more just tongue in cheek. Jesus.
I apologize. I'll bring up
having someone perish in 9/11 would actually
be. Yeah, I'll bring up the show. If you're looking to do something fun and have a night that brings joy to you this holiday season, December 27th, that's this coming Saturday. All right, Midtown Brewing Company, 402 South Washington Avenue, 6 to 11 p.m., Ugly Sweater Night should be a lot of fun. Matthew Shannon from 7 to 9 live music, and friends, family, live music, cocktails, food specials, beer specials at Midtown Brewing Company this Saturday. So if you got family in town, you're like, man, we've been around the house. We're on our 14th puzzle. We do this. I'm telling you, Midtown Brewing Company, great night this Saturday night, December 27th, and 6 to 11 p.m. Ugly Sweater Night, or wear your best muskox flannel.
Max next. If this is what the college football playoffs look like with 12 teams, imagine how bad it will be with 16. This is not basketball. There will never be Cinderellas in football. The talent gap is too wide.
Yeah, it's the line of scrimmage is the problem, and you're right. And it's wider now than it was because you don't have the pros on the outside that you had before because they've been poached. So yeah, but at 16, if you don't overdo it with it's really about how many of these mid majors get in. And if it's 16 and you have 2 mid-majors, that's not any worse than it would be now. I think that's the thing. You just can't let too many people in who aren't playing the same type of schedules for the same type of body of work. They have to have a path. As long as they're playing at the FBS level, there has to be a path for the dream. And you can say, well, they should go down to FCS, and maybe they should, and maybe that'll work. I'm not saying that's a bad idea. You see some of these FCS programs that are long entrenched in that level, and their fan bases are happy. And maybe that's the way to go. My concern is if it goes that way and those fan bases lose interest and you lose those eyeballs overall on the college football playoff, and I don't know that you will, but that's the concern, right? You need the greater whole of fans in college football, and the more you kick them out, the less you have them.
A Christmas story from Max apparently next. About 15 years ago, my daughter was student teaching at an elementary school in Detroit. As Christmas approached, she mentioned that some of the kids didn't seem too excited about it. We concluded that it was probably because they didn't expect to get any gifts, so we helped her buy one for every kid in the class. We settled on a basic art kit. They weren't really expensive, but it was something. When she started passing them out, one of her students weakly asked if everyone was getting a gift. When she said yes, tears began rolling down his face. He was so happy. He was getting something for Christmas that year. I think about him every year at this time. My daughter didn't end up going into teaching, but she did make a difference in one child's life, even if it was short-lived.
That is a heartwarming story and a definite story worth telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing, where you can have that warm feeling every time you are there. Max, I appreciate you saying that. That is this is a great time to give. This is a great time to...
Except for your wife, if you're couch.
Correct. Spend it on somebody else. She doesn't need anything, right? I mean...
except a stocking and then maybe a gift outside of the stocking.
But I do think like my wife adopts, a family or a child every year. And
you steal one of those too?
I don't steal the children, but I enjoy helping her pick the gift, especially when it's sort of in my wheelhouse, because you do feel good. You do feel like you're giving something, or a family that's not going to have anything. Like, this is a time of year where I think that's why I thought what Trey Fort did was great, and I thought Matt Wenzel at M Live did a better story than me on the Trey Fort experience, interviewing when he was doing the food drive, interviewing some people who came in and just what it meant to them. And anyway, if you get a chance to give back this holiday,
you got a Hallmark party coming up with Wenzel. Is that why you're kissing his ass?
We did one. We may have one more.
Talked about you on the pod.
We may have one more. We're going to take a really quick break. We come back, more Christmas stories, more takes, Santa Rube, all that good stuff. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels.
Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen, Bar, or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with one awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com.
Hey! So you should totally hit that like button and subscribe to Couch in the Rube on YouTube. Seriously though, if you don't, Santa's literally gonna skip my house this year. And Graham Couch? Yeah, he's threatening to catnap my precious kitty. So come on, help a girl out.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Oh, man, I love that. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go muskox.com. Peacock for $15 off your flannel purchase. Also, want to remind people that Groovy Donuts is open on Christmas Eve, and I think that's really cool. Like if you're going to a holiday gathering or you're having people over, you're going, whatever it is, you're just by yourself on Christmas. You're never alone with Groovy Donuts, right? Get yourself a Muskox flannel and a box of Groovy Donuts. But seriously, it's a great way it's a great addition to your Christmas traditions, a great way to bring joy and make people want to be around you and just add to Christmas with Groovy Donuts. You can place an order at groovydonuts.com or swing on by 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. On Wednesday, December 24th. They're also open this Saturday, December 27th and December 28th. Again, groovydonuts.com, 2 locations, Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing, and also in Williamston.
Spartholomew next. Number 1, I'm torn on the Nick Sheridan MSU offensive coordinator hire. Looks great on the surface, but he didn't have much success without DeBoer. We'll remain hopeful it works out, of course. 2, nothing really left to say that already hasn't been said regarding the Lions. The team will either learn and actually make winning moves, or continued arrogance will put this franchise back in all too familiar territory.
Yeah, I mean,
the Rod Wood territory.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Rod Wood.
I think there's a middle ground, too. But, yeah, this is a big offseason.
Let's hear from Brad Holmes, though. Let's hear from him.
Let's
100%. Scott Harris BS. Let's
he's had a couple questionable drafts, but I also think he's earned the right to be heard from.
It's not about the drafts. It's about the free agency moves. And next year, when we have these kind of injuries, are you going to make a move at the deadline to get us somewhat? I mean, I know the offensive line, it's really a lot harder than other areas, but come on here. We have to do something here. G.E. Miller, number 1, the Lions, primarily Holmes and Campbell, have become a story of what happens when hubris prevents you from continuous improvement. They neglected what turned them into a good team and now have the worst O and D lines in the game. The window is not just closed, it's slammed shut. 2, as good as the LeVar Woods and Max Bulla hires were by Pat Fitzgerald, the Nick Sheridan OC hire is perplexing. With Bama's talent, he was demoted after his only year of play calling. Other than that, who knows? That's his track record as an OC, and from Tigers fan 63. In his career, Sheridan has been fired by South Florida and Indiana, as well as demoted from OC to co-OC by Alabama. Am I right to doubt this is a good hire? And from Chris, this OC was the most important coach that Fitz was going to hire, and despite knocking the ball out of the park with the other choices, he failed miserably, bringing in a failing Sheridan. Our ceiling is now green Iowa. fuck this shit.
Bah humbug. So I don't know what Nick Sheridan will be as Michigan State's offensive coordinator. I've started, doing a little bit of work on him in terms of like calling around or reaching out to people who are in the business who may know him or be familiar. And I've heard most people respect him as an offensive mind. And a lot of good coaches have been fired. I think almost every coach that gets hired as as a head coach, one of the great things about not doing it maybe till you're in your late 40s is you have been on a staff that's been fired, or you've been something you've had to learn from it. So maybe he's learned from it. I mean, the fact that he worked with DeBoer at Indiana and DeBoer hired him, then at Washington and Alabama means he thinks highly of him enough. I'm not saying it's an unblemished record. You grow into this stuff. I don't have the red flags that people do. I don't think it's a home run hire, but when it happened, it wasn't like I've heard from a number of people who think it was a good hire. So, let's hear from him, and let's sort of hear from Pat Fitzgerald, and let's watch it develop.
I should have played that first. That was a great spin zone.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Man, you're good at that sometimes. By the way, no one's mentioned that the Lions do lead the league in points per game. I know the Rams are close second, or they flip-flopped a little bit, but I know the Lions, they're like 30.1 points per game. I mean, we're talking about Dane Campbell's play calling.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had a decent offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Tigers fan, 63. Who's more stubborn, Scott Harris or Brad Holmes? And bonus, was Tarek Skubel's Detroit Sports Weekend just a big PR tour?
I wanted to ask you about the Skubal thing because he was everywhere, right?
He was at the Lions game, too.
Yeah. Is it the Oakland MSU game? Is it? I think he went in the Red Wings.
How bored is this guy? Jesus.
My
you have all the money in the world. What are you doing?
My question for him is, you're going to leave the Tigers eventually, whether he gets traded this offseason or he leaves a year from now.
Right.
And usually when guys leave, especially if he gets traded, it'll be one thing because that will be not of his own doing in 100%. Now, it'll be partly his own doing because he has a jackass of an agent. But if he leaves a year from now, like usually when people left, the way they're thought of is, F you left. And so I'm curious, is there anything he can do? Like if he does leave for, say he signs with the Dodgers or Mets for, 10 years, $400 million a year from now, how will people think of him as Tigers fans anyway?
Tony Dombrowski or me?
You.
F you. See you later.
Okay.
But I don't blame him if they're going to offer him a certain amount that the Tigers don't want to pay or match. I mean, you can't say F you the guy if he, So
what's the point of the PR tour if everybody's going to hate you anyway?
I just think he likes sporting events. I think he just, like, if you're a celebrity like that, they're like, hey, do you want to go to this? I mean, he's probably staying at a 5-star fucking hotel, and you just go back up there, chill, go to, what's the next game? All right, cool. Go down there. I mean, it's all within the area there. I can understand. I'm just busting his balls about going to it. Because I was just like, man, what's he doing here? Don't you just want to watch it on TV? Come on, Scoops. But he gets like right down there. Why wouldn't you want to go into this shit? But
this is where fans are illogical and fickle sometimes. And like Liverpool in soccer has a guy named Trent Alexander-Arnold who had been this,
TAA.
That's right. You call him. You're a good buddy. It would come up, in their youth system. He'd been a Liverpool guy. This has been his club.
Yeah.
He played out his whole contract. He's like 26 years old. He basically spent his life in Liverpool. Decides to sign with Real Madrid, wants to do something else, play in a different country. He's not playing for a rival or anything. Played through his whole contract. They could have moved. Anyway, and he's basically booed like he's Satan. Now,
all right.
But they lose another guy who died in a car accident over the summer, and he's lauded. Like, you have to the only way to leave a club and have people like you is death. Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing that's messed up.
It's like the mob, dude.
It's unbelievable. It's just how it's just.
What do you want us to do? You want me to high five my wife when the fucking Bears score?
I didn't say that.
No, you did. You defended. You said I should be giving my wife a high five when the Bears score.
Yeah, that's fair. She's your wife.
Fuck that, dude. And that DJ Moore on Saturday night, I was not high fiving her. She was screaming her fucking head off. Like, there's no way, dude.
I wish I had
but then you
camera on that.
Oh, dude, she's fucking screaming. What an octave that she met, and I'm supposed to give. Oh, babe, I'm so happy for you.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. But I'm saying, but what are we supposed to do with Scooble? I'm supposed to fuck when he, give him a standing ovation when he gets back. Fuck him. Pitch through the fucking 8th inning one time. Win us a World Series. I'll cheer whatever the fuck wherever you go, dude. I don't give a shit.
That's it. Right. If they win a World Series,
be a dog. Pitch deep into fucking games. I'll cheer your ass. I mean, I can understand if you want to go to another team, but what am I supposed to do when he comes back to Comerica? I'm like, All right, man. Hey, good to see you.
The way you just said, "Oh, babe," reminded me of the time what Therese said to you after you were talking to John Daly.
I know.
And you got back and she's like, "Oh, babe." Yeah,
I know. John
babe.
Daly was playing in the tournament this weekend with his son, and it just always brings back. Whenever I see Daly, I think of that. It just goes right to, "Hey, JD, how many chocolate milks have you had today?"
Because
he just didn't even.
What I love about that moment is in that moment you're hoping, I hope that wasn't as bad as it was, and then when Therese goes, "Oh, babe,"
Babe.
it's the worst. It's the worst.
I know, and she's not, but she does that. Like last night, Jordan and his wife Sam were at the Red Wings game, and he had to transfer the tickets through Ticketmaster to me. So because they, it was going to overtime. So we're like, hey, so then as soon as I get anxiety about that shit because I'm like, what if, my brain goes, oh my God, what if I can't get on here? We're going to be stuck out here. And I just imagine just going to a bar because I can't get the fucking Ticketmaster. But she's like not helpful. She's not like, oh, it's fine. Everything will be fine. She's like, oh yeah, that app is always a problem. I'm like, no, dude, you're supposed to just lie. Like, okay, do I have to give a high five in order to get her to do that? Maybe,
Yes,
but
maybe.
I still can't do it. But it's just like, well, can you just lie to me? Just be like, oh, that's easy. No problem. Everything's going to be fine. I need you to say that.
Story worth telling,
Anyway.
presented by Midtown Brewing Company.
All right, Sparty Bar. Hot take. The hiring of Nick Sheridan as MSU's OC confirms that Kalen DeBoer is going to Michigan. Holiday take. All I want for Christmas is for Trey Holloman to come back. He would solve a lot of problems for MSU defensively and would give us great depth. Miss you, Trey.
Yeah, I mean, Trey Holloman would help quite a bit. He would give them, he'd give them a starting 2 guard. He'd give them secondary ball handling, a backup point guard, all that stuff. I don't know that by the end of the year, though, with Jordan Scott's length and the way it plays into this team's identity, I don't know that hurts him. And I think Kurt Tang is a shooter. Like, there's no doubt Trey Holloman would help them, but I don't know by the end of the year that it's gonna hurt them. I still and with the Kalen DeBoer thing. Based on the timeline now, if Michigan's planning to have a coach announced before the bowl game, there's no. I did think for a minute when it was like
it was looking good,
dragging. Well, even
17-0 at the beginning,
and even when it was dragging on after, I'm like, well, maybe they're just going to wait till he loses Indiana. Maybe they're just going to hold out. And I think at this point that ship has sailed.
Frank Vagsner. How do you say that? Vagsner. People who complain about the offensive pass interference calls would never lift a finger to read the rule book or ref a youth football game. Both calls were correct by rule. I love these guys too. I love you, Frank. I love the people that point this out. We know it was offensive. I mean, I need to see the Tesla one. Like, I don't know, Frank. Can you tell me that one? Do I need to read a rule fucking book? I understand Amon-Ra pushed off a little bit. I get that, right? I'm not blaming it on the referees. You can't let a couple of fans that call into 97.1 that blame the referees for that loss constitute every one of us Lions fans.
The question is, how much did Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Peyton Manning benefit from the same type of play in their careers and not get those calls? That's what I want to know. But
it shouldn't come down to shit like that.
No,
come down to Amon-Ra going down and throwing it like a fucking end of a movie.
And he had another bad drop. Like, this is not the Lions
playing hurt.
The Lions can't run. Yeah, I think he is. But the Lions can't run the ball and they can't stop the run.
How many Percocet did Taylor Decker take yesterday? By the way, I mean, does he even know where he's at? I mean, it's just
they turn him around, tell him which way to face.
All right. Dave Lakin, with Graham buying his wife a vacuum as a gift and Jason not high-fiving his wife because she's a Bears fan, you're both probably in the proverbial doghouse. You need to watch this video about another guy who gave his wife a vacuum. You're both dual bags.
Yeah, I did not. We can't watch the video here live, but
not denying we're douchebags. Is that what he's trying to say? We're douchebags.
Well, I think it's a dual. I think it's like I don't know. It's something with the video. I have to. Yeah.
Thanks for keeping that in. Then if I took a video.
Apologies. I messed up. Sorry, Dave. Merry Christmas.
Thanks for keeping that in. Jarrett, Dan Campbell will be gone by the end of the 2027 season. The biggest mistake this coaching staff did is keeping Goff and not going after someone better. You need a winning quarterback when the rest of the team can't walk. In 10 years, the Lions win a Super Bowl for the Rube.
Oh, man.
Wow, what a turn at the end there. I was really getting angry as I was reading, Jared.
You're going to have to
hang on. The way that ended.
Hang on for 10 years.
What do you fucking mean? I mean, what's Goff supposed to do? Block for himself and, spin and, that's not his game. I don't know why we're blaming Goff for this whole thing.
So there is this element of things, and this was my fear going in, and this is why I shouldn't be a GM, because Goff wound up being way better than they thought, and it would have been hard without him being good to get yourself in. Now, maybe last year, if they had been in last year's draft and they would have wound up with Drake May or something, it would have been amazing. But ultimately, Goff has been more than good enough. The challenge with a guy like Goff is you have to have a great team around him. It's no different than Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia, who's the other guy Jalen Hurts, third best quarterback in his division, winning Super Bowls, been to Super Bowls, right? And so that, you have to have things around him, and that's what's frustrating. And look, the injury thing with the Lions does seem worse than some other places. A lot of people are losing people. Again, do not celebrate a hit by a defensive back in week 3 because that dude's not going to be there. Don't celebrate a Micah Parsons trade because he's not going to be there. They all get freaking hurt. You got to build depth or you got to sit some guys out until late.
Austin Wolf, someone keep checking on the Rube. I'm good.
Doing pretty well.
I listen, man. The Commander fucking playoff game last year, that was after winning 15 games. We showed up 4 hours before the game. I mean, come on. It's like a world record for me. I was like, what are we doing here? We look up at the scoreboard. It's like 4 hours to go. I'm like, holy shit. Ben Chulik, Tesla has to make that catch in the clutch. And do you think Ragnow feels any guilt? Retirement announcement comes like a punch in the gut. Watches the O-line play like ass and announces comeback from retirement, only to announce a few days later that, nope, never mind, not coming back.
It's just weird because he didn't realize he had a grade 3 hamstring tear. That's kind of bizarre. I mean,
and the team didn't wait to announce it after the clearance.
Physical. Yeah, that would have been smart. The Tesla, what's too bad for Tesla is all the grief we've.
How about that touchdown catch?
It was a great catch. That's what I mean.
Kid's a rookie. I mean, it's unbelievable.
He also had come down with that catch and they won the game because of that. Then all the conversations we've had about a third-round pick and all that stuff, a little different slant. It's still some of them still would have been true, but I'm just saying that would have been a heck of a moment for him.
I mean, I know the catches aren't there, but is it a terrible rookie? I mean, what do you want out of the kid, I guess?
I'm not saying it's not his
touchdowns?
fault. It's not his fault. He's had a fine rookie year, and he's got guys blocking him. It's the question is whether that.
But I don't know if if he does make that catch, does it make it all worth?
No,
going forward.
No.
Coming back against the Steelers there, I didn't feel confident going forward anyway. Spartan Dog 97, I don't think Brad Holmes is a good GM. He just got lucky. And bonus, Josh Reynolds and Kendall Vildor have done more damage to the city of Detroit than crack and white flight. And Kwame. Shit.
Brad Holmes, good GM or lucky?
I mean, you can't say that he's lucky. I mean, he did trade up to get Gibbs when everybody was telling him he was an absolute buffoon. He snagged Campbell. Everybody told him that was I just don't think you get that lucky when you trade up. And like J-Mo, he did trade up to get J-Mo. And J-Mo, like I said, when the offensive line is cracking, that J-Mo is a legit weapon. So we have speed everywhere. I just don't think you can call him lucky. I don't know. Right?
No, I don't think he's lucky. I think he's pretty good. I think nobody's perfect at this job. I think he's doing better than any GM of my lifetime with the Lions.
Not saying it. I mean,
I know
Millen was here for how many fucking years?
That's fair. This is a big offseason though, and it's a big offseason. The stuff. It's different than the Tigers, and the Tigers are frustrating because there's no salary cap. There's no limitations to what you can do. Let your imagination run wild, do things. And the Tigers are also different because the way it works in baseball, you got some young, really intriguing players. Windows are different. The whole building is different. In the NFL, it's like,
are you mansplaining sports to us?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. Sorry,
you're just telling us how baseball works.
I'm just saying we need to hear from him, and it's not just contrition, but it's just sort of we just need to hear an understanding that there's some real work that needs to be done. And I did find it interesting. We had Nick Baumgartner on last week. He talked about, you've got all these weapons. Do you change the identity of the offense? I still think their identity is best if they need to fix the offensive line regardless.
Oh,
yeah. But it was an interesting point. Like, do you change how you go about things? And I don't know.
Joshua Kleinsorge next. The Lions have no real reason to keep Montgomery if they just keep using Gibbs as the multi-down back. Yet Brad Holmes not making any trade moves for a guaranteed what to get player you get. What the fuck? Will always hold the Lions back for years to come.
The Montgomery's not going to be there next year. It's just too much.
Why?
Money. It's too much money for a running back.
What's his contract? I thought it was cheap.
Nah,
I thought it's friendly.
I think it makes like $9 million a year. We can get a rookie. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, if he can get a deal elsewhere,
give me some off.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero
So
año y felicidad.
he's making $18.5 million. So he's making $9 million a year. I don't know. The question is how
we can talk terms after the season. We restructure. I mean, unless he can get a better deal from someone else.
You want him on the team. You just got to make sure.
I like Monty.
Yeah.
I do. Tyler, the Lions are at minimum 3 good O-linemen and a second edge away from winning anything. If they don't address much, they'll ride this wave out as a mid-level team.
They will address things. I mean, whether it works, I don't know, but they're not stupid. I mean, they're gonna try to fix this. And
I would hope so.
Yeah. I mean, it's easier said than done with
if he
linemen.
comes out and it's like Scott Harris, like, you know what? The names are going to be the same.
Yeah.
But the mentalities are going to be different or so whatever Scott Harris said.
Oh, my God. That would be the worst.
Bust you, dude. And you're like, what?
Scott Harris is more frustrating than Brad Holmes, I'll be honest. Like, that question was asked earlier. Brad Holmes is Brad Holmes has had some frustrating moments. Harris is like the epitome of frustration. He's next to the word frustration in the dictionary, I think.
Yeah. Josh, the Lions team that showed up in Green Bay week 1 was the real Lions team. The holes in the roster everyone was worried about were evident all year. It starts with Brad Holmes. We need to see a vision this offseason.
Yeah. We'll get a sense.
Or how about talk about what you saw before the season? What did you see with the offensive line and your linebacking core that made you think that we're going to go into the season and be like, we're going to have depth, we're going to be tough?
And
right?
And having 2 years where injuries have just crippled you to this extent, again, you can't replace you can't have 2 Laportas. It's not easy to have 2 tight ends of that ability on your team and be able to pay those guys. But you do need to replenish through the draft with as much depth as you can because those things are going to happen next year. Now, you hope it's not to this extent. The Lions have had 2 years of pretty horrific injuries relative to even some other teams in the NFL. But you gotta try to find ways to be deeper so that you've got
that Laporta injuries is brutal. I mean, 3 times yesterday. I'm just saying it out loud. I'm like, God, I miss Laporta.
And look what it's not. This is a bad.
I'm like
example.
Sparty Barb with Trey Holloman. I'm just with Laporta though. Just like I just missed the guy.
This is a bad example because the Chiefs have not had a good year. But the Chiefs went out and got
the Chiefs.
Noah Fant because they can't rely on Kelsey anymore, right? And I'm not saying you can't rely on Laporta. He's a much better player, but I wouldn't mind taking a flyer on somebody. You're not drafting number 8 overall. This isn't a T.J. Hawkinson situation. But, 3rd, 4th round tight end that you like a lot, get somebody you can develop under there as another young tight end. I would not hate that.
Where did Noah Fant come from, though?
I don't know.
He's not
Denver?
a rookie. I understand.
I'm just saying, but they signed him. They knew they needed help at that position.
Yeah, all right. Lions reply guy, if you could only choose one of these for the offseason, what would it be? Number 1, revamped O-line. 2, above average offensive coordinator. 3, edge rusher opposite Hutch. 4, Holmes makes any trade of magnitude to at least show he's not stubborn to the point of his own demise. And also, do you think it's more likely that the Lions go back to same old Lions under Campbell and Holmes, or it's more likely they go back to the last year's 25-2 version?
I don't think they go back to same old Lions, but 25-2 is hard. 15, whatever it was, 15-2.
I put 25 about to say, like, what
that was
that
incredible. Yeah,
damn, dude, I missed that whole 10 games.
I think there's a middle ground. I think this is different. This is a different era. We're just all scarred by it. Of those things,
O-line.
Yeah,
it's easy.
Same.
Revamp
it changes everything.
Yeah,
we've talked about it with Michigan State football forever. Like if you fix that component, everything else becomes easier.
Like I want to crush tape on offensive linemen. Seriously. PZ, thank goodness for Cade Cunningham. And bonus, Graham's best take, fuck Tottenham.
I think it is one of my best takes. It's a goodie, oldie, but a goodie. The Pistons. Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, and what's cool is
I love Isaiah Stewart. That's my guy.
They lose a close game. You're like, God, and then they go play a Charlotte team that's on the upstart, and all of a sudden they crush them. Like you can trust them to a certain degree. They show up every single night. What are they? 22-6 now. The Knicks are really good. And the Knicks are right there. I'm not saying they're going to wind up being the 1 seed. The Knicks are 20-8, but the Pistons have a really good chance of being a top 2 seed, which means home court until the Eastern Conference Finals, and we've seen them against the Knicks. I don't think anybody's scared of like a real competitive series there. Even the Knicks are good, and if you can get instead of playing the Knicks in round 1, if you can get Knicks Pistons, even if you don't have home court in the Eastern Conference Finals, we would all live for that. That would be incredible.
Ken Chu wishing both of you and all the Couch and the Rube listeners the merriest Christmas. This show and everyone who contributes to it truly brings me joy.
Appreciate you, Ken. Appreciate you
I
always
love you,
contributing.
Ken.
Yeah.
You're the best, man.
Absolutely, man.
John Johnson, Rube, you said on the last show you got custom golf clubs. Where did you go, and did you enjoy the experience? I was thinking of doing this because I'm taller, and the stock clubs are hit and miss for me, but didn't want to pay the fitting fee up front without knowing if it's worth it. We went to Carl's Golf Land. The problem was I was surprised with it. We were supposed to go to Top Golf, Jordan and his wife Sam and me and Trees, and they lied to me. And then all of a sudden I'm at Carl's Golf Land. And this was before I got clubs, so I wasn't really playing as much as I don't know. I'm in love with golf way more than I was back then. So I didn't really have time to like research or do anything, but it was definitely, the experience was definitely awesome. Like the guy that helped me there was really nice, and they get you fitted for what you need and for your swing. And
I need to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. Like I said, Jordan paid, so I don't know what it costs. But if it's like I think they usually take it out if you end up buying clubs from them. I think they end up throwing it in, so I can't recommend it more. But I wish I knew ahead of time so I could have done more research by the time. A Christmas story from Clint One Ball Bainey next. 3 years ago, while getting into my car on a very cold and dark morning, someone put a monster 12-inch black rubber dildo on my seat. I already wasn't having a good morning, and it was cold and massive and half the size of a Louisville Slugger. Fear took hold of me. Who could it be? I tried to figure out who the culprit was, and it scared the shit out of me. One ball detective work led me to one of my kids who shall remain nameless. It was a gag gift from a white elephant party they had been at the night before. Some dads would have been angry. Not One Ball. I was proud. It was at the time what I did a good job as a father. Merry Christmas and fuck Michigan.
Appreciate you, One Ball.
U of M, not the state.
Yeah, appreciate you, One Ball. Merry Christmas, One Ball. That is a great, heartwarming story. Is only One Ball.
I'd be proud of my kid. That's a funny bit.
Yeah, no, the dildo and the. I mean, you would not do that to the father-in-law, right? You would not.
No.
No, not with Teresa's.
I would definitely not do that.
That's the father-in-law.
Fake parking ticket was the far. Not even then. I was like,
yeah. If you're gonna
dildo, what am I, a maniac?
Yeah, dildo for dad, maybe, but muskox.
I'm throwing at my dad right
muskox flannel for the father-in-law is the better way to go. We're gonna take one more break. A lot more MSU, some MSU basketball, MSU football takes, and also, of course, the story of Santa Rube. Couch in the Rube, our Monday show, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels.
Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen, Bar, or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. Two amazing places with one awesome blended modern American-Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at gomuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com.
Hey, so you should totally hit that like button and subscribe to Couch in the Rube on YouTube. Seriously though, if you don't, Santa's literally gonna skip my house this year. And Graham Couch? Yeah, he's threatening to catnap my precious kitty. So come on, help a girl out.
Couch in the Rube, our Monday show, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. GoMuskox.com. Peacock for $15 off your flannel purchase.
Peacock.
Scotty Green's El Camino next. Number one, the Seinfeld. This like Seinfeld. This is an opportunity for airing of grievances. F. Andy Katz and his hair. F. Dave Revson wearing loafers on air. F. Mitch Albom for lecturing me. F Eddie Bauer and their interior flannels. And finally, F the refs. 2, such a great year for the pod, guys. So many good topics and memories. Really enjoy listening to the show and talking about it with my friends who graduated with me from MSU. Thank you for allowing the listeners to be part of it. Have a great New Year, guys.
Appreciate you, Scotty Green. Absolutely, man.
Why are you mad at Revson for wearing loafers on air, though?
I love that.
I mean, like, he's on air. They're under the desk, right? Like, I love...
Well, this is an airing agreement. It's whatever pisses you off.
I understand that. I love that,
Yeah.
those kind of things, but it just makes me question.
This random thing he's angry about. It's,
yeah,
no, it's, yeah. And,
like when I saw Reese Davis at Big Ten Media Days and he had like a flip phone, I could not stop staring at it. This was years ago, but like I was like, what the fuck?
And Eddie Bauer in their inferior flannels. It's no Muskok. Expect more from your flannels. Yeah.
John in the desert. The Christmas legend of the Blumpkin is a psyop. What? How do you say that? Psyop?
Psyop. Yeah.
Psyop concocted by big toilet money. The goal is to sell off stock of cisterns. Let's see you use this as a promotional segue.
I don't think I can, and I don't want to do too much of Blumpkins. We know this because I'm just concerned.
All the pop-ups.
Again, I thought Blumpkins were like a fall cupcake muffin donut type thing. I did not realize. I thought something you could get at Groovy Donuts is a Blumpkin. And
but now that you know, huh? You down?
Yeah, I'm good.
Talk Elizabeth into it? No? Christmas? Rich Searing, number 1, Denim Wojcik is going to frustrate us all year, and Izzo isn't likely to let up with him, so we might as well get used to it. 2, my question on Comparoni last Friday wasn't meant as an insult. I like him. Just think he has a smoker's voice. 3, as much as I agree with Graham that small schools like Tulane and James Madison need to be in the playoff picture, those games were so unbelievably boring, I didn't even bother watching all of them. Happy holidays, guys. Appreciate you both.
You know what's funny? Appreciate you too, Rich. Happy holidays. One of the things that I sort of enjoy is the misery of television networks. Like, I'm enjoying the fact that Netflix got so pumped up. They hired staff or they bring people in to do these NFL games on Christmas, and they get 2 duds. Backup quarterbacks, no teams in the playoffs, like just complete waste of time. The NBA games would be more interesting. Maybe it's karma. I mean, I love having the NFL on Christmas Day personally, but and then you get these, everybody pumps up for the playoffs, and the networks are all excited, and I enjoy watching them suffer, and maybe I shouldn't, but that's just me.
Spartan Frank next. The fact that Jason is doing this show after 1 nut punch of watching the Bears pull another one out with Trees, 2 Lions debacle, and 3 Denim Wojcik not belonging on the court versus Oakland is a true Santa Rube miracle. At least he gets to see Graham's blue eyes in a muskox.
My eyes do pop.
That is true. I did get to see you multiple times, watching the game since you guys were at LCA on the sidelines there. I'm like, damn, this MFer really does wear the muskox everywhere.
Well, I wouldn't.
Like, no wonder Brad Hoos had you over to his house. I mean, you literally wear it everywhere.
Yeah, didn't even have a coat. It was
right.
amazing.
I mean, it's pretty,
it's
impressive.
It's one of those things. Like, I left his house. He's like, "Do you have a jacket?" I was like, "It's 40 degrees and I have a muskox. Why would I have a jacket?" There's just absolutely no need for that. Speaking of Santa Rube and the Santa Rube miracle, it is time for the story of Santa Rube, an annual tradition here on Couch in the Rube. And for those who don't know, Santa Rube is a story Jason's told several times over here. It's a classic of one of his escapades when he was a young man on Christmas Eve years ago. You ready? All right. There's is Santa Rube here?
Yep.
All right.
Hold on. There he is.
Oh, sweet. All right.
Ho, 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 children.
Please tell us the great story of Santa Rube.
Oh, sorry. Santa Rube need to be have his memory jogged. All right. Let me first tell you who was a part of this. My cousin Nick. My cousin Nick was the reason why this whole story happened. And my cousin Nick was probably hornier than Chad Latz. He was a guy that loved to go out, loved the ladies. He was a personal trainer, good-looking kid, had success with ladies. Why wouldn't you want to go out? So it's Christmas Eve. My Uncle Ron has a tradition at Christmas Eve. We go over there and get shit-faced and then go to church. I am not a big church guy, but I respect my uncle. He likes going, so therefore I go. So anyway, my cousin's already on his phone, just like trying to find some girl, somebody to hang out with tonight. Because, come on, son, we got to go. We got to go after we're done with this Christmas thing at the church. We got to go. I know this girl, and she's got a friend. That's how he would always get me into this. She's got a friend, because that always works out. And we lived together, so I knew I knew what he was trying to do because every, like, Monday, Tuesday, he wanted to go to the bar every night. So anyway, I'm like, all right, we're all having a good time. It's midnight mass, so we get out at probably like 1 o'clock. And my cousin goes, all right, son, let's go, man. Where are we going? Charlotte. I'm like, Charlotte? Fuck. For people that don't live here, it's like 35 minutes away from Lansing. And she's got a friend. I'm like, whatever. So we get some booze, head over to Chartucky, they call it. And this young lady answers the door, and I'm like, where's his friend at? So we're hanging out. And so I'm a good wingman, right? I see that there's no opportunity. I mean, like, there's friends that come over afterwards, but, nothing's going to happen. So I take that opportunity because I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to sleep on this couch. So I better start power drinking because there's like, I need something to help me get to sleep. Booze, melatonin, NyQuil, anything, right? So I just get hammered. I'm like, I tell him as he goes in, they hang out, go into the bedroom, whatnot. So I tell him, I'm like, listen, dude, before he went in the bedroom, I'm like, hey, we got to get out of here. It's like fucking 3 a.m. It's crazy. He's like, yeah, I know. So anyway, there's Jason, Santa Rube, sitting on the couch, just getting hammered. Finally, I pass out. And I don't know, it felt like an hour went by, but I wake up and I look at my phone and it's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, shit. So dry mouth, obviously. I'm just like still drunk. I'm just like, what is happening? Sweating profusely. So I look into the bedroom and like my cousin's not up, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go back to the couch. I tried messaging him because I don't want to walk in on this room. You don't know what you're going to walk in on. So I text him like, well, dude, we got to get the fuck out of here. Come on, let's go. And so as I'm waiting, I feel there's someone in the room with me. And I look over and it's like a 7-year-old girl. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she goes, are you Santa? And I go, and now at this point, in my head, I'm going, this answer will dictate this young girl's life. Like, I could give her an answer that would make her want to become a stripper or something. Like, there's a lot of pressure on me here. I wasn't expecting a 7-year-old. So I said, no, Santa was here, as you can see by the presents here. So as she's walking over towards the presents, I see my cousin, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, you motherfucker. I go, let's go. She comes out of the bedroom holding a fucking baby, like a 6-month-old baby. I'm like, what is happening? I look at him. He knows that we have to get out of here. And I tell her, the young girl that thought I was Santa, I said, why don't you just open a gift? Let's break this awkwardness with a gift. She opens it up, and it's like a board game. And right then I go, all right, dude, we got to go. So I get my cousin. I'm like, what the fuck happened? We get all the way home. It's like 7 a.m. I'm hungover. I feel like complete shit. We get home, and I forgot my phone at her place. So he had to message her, and I had to drive all the way back to Chartucky at 7 a.m, feeling like complete shit. I just showed up, and I'm like, she just had the phone outside the door, like you just like to hand it to me. I'm like, all right, see you later. That was fun. So that's the Santa Rube story.
It's a hell of a story, man. It is a hell of a story. I mean, you changed a young girl's life. I don't know what's happened to her since. I can't imagine good things.
Oh, if she's anything like her mother.
Yeah, but the fact that this is what makes you a good guy. Is it in that moment, hungover, dry mouth, sweating profusely, a young child believes you are Santa, and you spring into action. And even though you got the bad luck of it being a board game and not something really, really fun, you were able to, It
was like Clue or something, too. I'm like, hey, what are you getting your kids
that's
here?
Great. That's not great.
Yeah.
That's not
so,
great.
Yeah, that was, I just didn't know what was going on. It was like a daycare center he took me to.
It's one of the great ones. That is definitely a story worth telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing. That's 402 South Washington Avenue. This time of year, is one of my favorite times to be at Midtown Brewing Company. Unbelievable place to just it's got this cozy, spacious vibe, like the frost on the windows, good bar seating for that. Like, I don't know, it's just a great place for a date night, for a drink after work. My buddy Matt Mancarini, who many of you know, is going to be back in town briefly next week. We will be at Midtown Brewing Company enjoying an American stout and a good meal.
You have to do a shot of
weekends.
eggnog every time Graham mentions Matt Mancarini.
A lot of drunk people out now.
There we go.
Fantastic, man. I love that the live read still works. And Mancarini now is back in town working at the LSJ and actually coming over to watch soccer and drink tomorrow.
Whoa.
Sorry.
You're getting really choked up about that,
I am.
man. You haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, verklempt here.
All right, Ryan Rockwell. Next. Watching Christmas Vacation this year made me realize Jonathan Smith kind of resembles Cousin Eddie. Yeah, kind of. Oh, shucks. Bonus, Jason, if you need some advice with Norm, let me know. I've got 3 orange cats. They can be real characters. And Merry Christmas to you and Graham.
Merry Christmas, Ryan.
Same to you, Ryan. Yeah, I'll let you know, man.
Have you solved the whining or the meowing while you're sleeping?
We've locked our doors.
Okay. Yeah, that's
to the bedroom. And, well, I know. Now he's like peeing out everywhere. And,
that's not good.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a great cat. Great cat.
Keep telling yourself that. Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah,
No, I
okay,
do.
okay.
Listen, it's, Ralph E., number 1, living in the Chicago area, the Bears fans are downright giddy. It's disgusting. It is. It's disgusting. 2, a substantial contingent on MSU message boards opposed Nick Sheridan due to his Michigan ties, and shake my head. It's a job, people. Have a great Christmas week.
You too, Ralph. I think there's some of that. Look, he's a Michigan guy. He was there from in the late 2000s, and so I 100% get that. The question is whether MSU's offense works, right? And that stuff should be fairly irrelevant in that position. Now, is there ever a chance that he would rise to be the head coach at Michigan State? No, but you just hired a new coach, and if there's anybody who's ever going to be like the coach in waiting, you would think it would be like Max Bulla. It's not going to be,
Hell yeah.
Nick Sheridan. So you want the offense to work, and whether it does under him, we'll see. The fact that Kalen DeBoer has kept hiring him, I know he got demoted a little at Indiana and at Alabama, and there's some pressure there, but when a guy keeps getting hired by a guy that you trust as an offensive mind, I think that's a good sign. So we'll see.
Tim, next. Number 1, the Lions have too many players who give 100% on every play. Need more players that take plays and drives off to stay healthy throughout the season. And 2, Rod Wood, a.k.a. Penis Mule, needs to convince Martha to install grass field at Ford Field to limit injury risk. And 3, your takes about Michigan are interesting. They're a punchline right now, but most Michigan fans and even championship circle boosters I know seem to all be relieved that this allowed us to accelerate the inevitable and move on from more without wasting another year we had to give them. Plus, no money.
Yeah, a couple good ones here. One, I think Michigan overall, and you read the reporting today by The Athletic with Katie Strang, and there are a few others there, but I do think Michigan in the long term will be better off without more, and I think a lot of fans weren't
thrilled. Is that a hot take?
No, but it's just they didn't want it to look like this. This is because
right.
This is also left stench on Harbaugh, right? This has become the thing that sort of
this is an absolute shit show.
Yeah, this has not been great. The grass at Ford Field, if you want to be cutting edge, and I know that stuff, you got to bring in and out. It's a hard thing to do in an indoor dome, but if you want to be cutting edge and you thought, think about it. If you go back and you say, well, there are 2 or 3 injuries that happen to the Lions that don't happen if we've got natural grass, then you ought to do that. That ought to be, because that could be the difference between winning and losing, and that would be one way to at least take a step toward preventing injuries.
Original Darkman Antonio next. I'm shocked that there were that many fans at the Michigan basketball game versus an opponent everyone knew would lose by 100 at the same time the Lions were playing a huge game with playoff implications. Just a sign of disproving your theory that Michigan has crappy basketball fans.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's not that they're crappy. It's that they don't – and it's not even that they're not front runners. Last year when they had it – and I've brought this up a million times, but you don't get another redo. You were competing for a Big Ten title, and yeah, it's a midweek game, but a basketball school, a school that cares about basketball, fans, a place where fans really value basketball, would not have had that environment when they lost to Maryland in the middle of the week and when they were in contention for a Big Ten title. It wouldn't happen at Indiana or Michigan State. I don't think it happens at Wisconsin, and it doesn't happen at Illinois, and that just is what it is. You can't come back from that. And
I'm
so
not talking about Michigan.
that's the level of basketball. It's not that there aren't some basketball fans like you that people really care, and it's not that they don't care to a degree, and it's not that they're not having fun with this team, but they were part of the reason that Michigan lost that day, I believe. Like if you're at home and it's a deflating crowd, I think it hurts you in some ways, and that just is what it is at this point.
Shep, next. Graham, now that you've acknowledged the blue wall, and if the suits that run the papers care about that this is a thing, even if you say it's unintentional, why not hire a dedicated blue wall editor? I could do it. Minimum wage, a couple hours per week. They just send me the final stories, and I just say, nah, too biased. Fix it and try again. Or if it's down the middle, I approve it, and it goes to print. This could be a cost-effective way to restore their integrity and help to stop alienating half their customers.
I like it. I'll propose it. Especially with Mitch. You know, Mitch loves when people put their fingers on his words. I mean, yeah.
Couch on fire. Merry Christmas and Feliz Navidad. I was worried about the Rube's health at the end of that game. Didn't know if we'd have a show today. And bonus, almost Christmas, and the Pistons and Red Wings are in first place. Who had that on their bingo card for 2015?
I didn't, and not just first place in the division, right? Like first place in the Eastern Conference for the Pistons and the Red Wings.
2015.
2025, I think it should have been.
Why do you always do that to me? And people are going to listen to this and I'm like, this asshole.
The Red Wings, I'm excited about. I have a nice little bet with them, but they are actually first in the Eastern Conference too right now. The weird.
Hold on. Come on now.
It is time for the Detroit Red Wings gambling update with Gramanito Couch and Jason Lee.
So I think the NHL has a math problem, and I can't figure it out. All right. So the Red Wings are leading the Atlantic Division, and there are a bunch of teams bunched up. Like they got 45 points. And the 6th place team has 40. So you go from 40 to 45, and that's 6 places. That's 6 places in just 5 points. But the bottom of the division is at 35 points. Like the worst team in the division is 15, 15, and 5. Okay, so no losing records. You go to the Metropolitan Division. The worst team is 14, 15, and 6. Like mathematically, somebody has to be losing these games. You go to the Western Conference. Are they all? They're not even that bad there. It's 13, 14, and this OT loss is 6. Like 13. Like I don't.
What are you complaining about?
Maybe I got to do the math wrong. Somebody is not lost enough games for the math to add up. Like there's got 4 teams or somewhere that aren't in the standings that are losing all the games. Because I don't think if you do the math, it adds up. Anyway, that's my bit with the.
It's a good bit.
It's a bad bit.
It was. Yeah, it's terrible. Sorry. Actually, Mojo Jojo, hot pianist take. Got to say, Graham. Nick Sanders is one powerful pianist.
Santa Rube.
Sanders was hammering those keys. Even what is he doing? What is his fucking words? Upon a 9 would have been blushing in the front row.
Yeah.
Who cares? Barry must be proud of the pianist he produced in the Sanders Pianist Palace. A truly girthy lineage. Oh, just say cock. What are we doing? Cooked scum take, ranking the remaining candidates by juice. Jason, I would love Michigan fan Jordan's ranking of the below. John, Glenda, the good witch Harbaugh. Mike, the man Gundy. Rich, Dick Rodriguez. This guy with dicks here. Brady, Yabadoo Hoke. Urban, Santa's Lap Meyer. And Mel, Caulfield Tucker. Hold on.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for all of that.
Yeah, we don't.
But if you ask Jordan, Harbaugh is still a goddamn, right?
You know what? I don't know.
You should ask. I would love to know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't get into it because then he'll go on a rant, and I'm just like, oh, man. It's just whatever. Money bag. Number 1, it's important that everyone feels like they have a chance in college sports, but giving charity playoff spots to schools that get their roster ransacked every offseason is putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. 2, great to see Michigan's arrogance finally bite them. Ward should have been fired 6 scandals ago. They could have found evidence on more weeks ago if there wasn't a class to sign. Now they're learning their job is a little less hot with high-profile openings being a regular thing.
Yeah, I'm curious where this goes. They'll make they'll get to somebody good. There are lots of good coaches out there, but it definitely they would have been much. This is why I don't think they were waiting for the class because this would have been much better for them to have happen earlier. It would have been easier. They would have already had a coach in place and. Even with Ward Manuel maybe on his way out, even with the interim president, if you look how this has worked out, you can see why sort of the conspiracy idea that they were just waiting for that recruiting class. I'm not saying they were openly looking for this as well as they should have been when you start to look at some of the reports coming out now. I think they weren't paying attention, and that we've seen that in a lot of places. When you don't pay attention and something's going on, things can spiral, and that's what's happened in Michigan here.
Matty B next. This MSU basketball team is going nowhere if Fears can't shoot. It's not his most important skill, but we can't have next to nothing on field goals. This team doesn't look right at the moment despite the wins. At least not how they looked earlier in the season. And bonus, conveniently timed article by Nolan Finley in the Detroit News. MSU gets something good for athletics, and the Blue Wall has to criticize it.
So it was a piece on Spartan Ventures and sort of look, there are legitimate questions with Spartan Ventures, and I think it's a fair story. I mean, it in some ways is cutting edge, but also there are questions about in terms of accountability and how much will be happening in the dark, and whether there will be, whether there will be FOIA capability, whether the athletic department will have full control over things, and some of those are being answered. And I actually sat down with Jay Batt last Thursday, and we'll have a piece on that interview, a profile on him and some of the issues, and talk to him about Spartan Ventures and all this stuff. And that'll be coming out later in the week, and I think in Sunday print. So I'm not sure when it's going online, but that,
Did he look through you?
No, he was great. It was a really good conversation. Cool. A really good conversation. To the MSU basketball point, I do think what happened against Oakland, some of that's the zone. Last year it was wonky till the second half. Oakland played pretty well for a while. Michigan State, got it going a little bit, but there were some funky lineups in there. Guys who you just lineup combinations you haven't really seen. It was just a weird thing for them to do. I think they're trying to put guys in positions where they're, facing some adversity a little bit. I think those days have to be over as you get back from Christmas, because there's not much time to screw around, and what's coming January 2nd will be a real test for Michigan State on the road at Nebraska.
Munfield Keg stopped at Motor City Casino on the way to the MSU game on Saturday and placed a bunch of soccer bets that hit, except 2 parlays involving Brighton.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm not blaming you because I had the same read as you. I'm blaming Brighton, who are ass.
That was bad. It was bad. And I'm listening to the game. I was on my way to the basketball game at Little Caesars Arena, and I'm listening to that game on Sirius XM, and I'm just like,
on the radio?
Yeah, well, yeah. I listen to soccer on the radio, but then I hedged quickly. You could just tell it was like, God, what is wrong with Brighton? You could just tell.
You're the hedge king.
That's why
you hedge yourself to death.
I lose so much money hedging. It's just the worst. Hedges and unders. I get so excited. Like at NFL games, like 6-3 after a quarter, and I'm like, ooh, under 37, and then it winds up at like 53.
It'd be fun just to watch your app, just to see you hedge.
It's all because of this treadmill I'm on. I'm trying to keep myself.
Hey, at least you're staying healthy.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? It's a good trade. Corey Ostrom, if we want the group of 6 teams in the college football playoff, then we have to go to 24 teams and include their 6 champions. If we want the most fair outcome with the most parity, then the group of 6 should have their own playoff. People would go, people would watch. There's money to be made. And bonus. Happy holidays to you two fine gentlemen and to all of the Couch and the Rube family.
Same to you, Corey.
Yeah,
I do think the FBS, which has been a great level for a long time, FCS, could welcome a lot of schools, and the MAC could play there. And frankly, financially, it would make sense to go down in scholarships to 63, to put more money into basketball, to do things like that. But the system has changed on them, and so we have to adapt. But it's not their fault, and so we have to understand that this has been created. This was not how it was 3 years ago. This is not how it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. This system has been created based on their players being poached. So now we have to adjust, but you still, as long as they're playing, and I think they will continue to play at the highest level, there has to be a path. It doesn't have to be 2, though, of 12. And if you get to 16, it probably still then has to be 1 auto bid, and then anybody else ranked there. But you got to have the auto bid, because I'm telling you right now, that committee will screw them otherwise.
Scott, number 1, what is the football equivalent to Penn State basketball games? Other than Solari, seemed no other members of the MSU beat wanted to go there at all, as it's a tough place to get to for a not great environment. Rutgers, maybe? 2, how is Caleb Glenn doing mentally through this tough injury and a long recovery process? Is he available post-game? And if so, does anyone check in on him to see how he's doing, or is he generally left alone?
He's pretty much left alone. I have never spoken to Caleb Glenn. He's not somebody who hangs around. Like, you see him at every practice. but he doesn't like hang around after practice when guys are being interviewed or talking very often. But it would be an interesting story to do on him, just how this is, because it must be a weird year for him.
You never just like walk by and be like, "Hey, Caleb, Hey, Caleb."
I've never introduced myself to him. I've only a couple times. Yeah, no, I'm kind of a jerk.
Maybe he thinks you're a dick.
Rightfully so.
Like, dude, that Graham Couch guy looks right through me. What an asshole.
Yeah, learn from Jim Delaney. It's the way it works. The first part, the Penn State basketball Rutgers is not the equivalent for football because you can fly into Newark and it's right there and it's easy to get to. There really is Penn State. The equivalent to Penn State basketball is, I'm trying to think. And in Penn State, the RAC when they're good is one of the great environments too. It's a sweet. I'm trying to think what there is. What would be the worst football? Indiana when they were bad, but that's not hard to get to, and it's a great town. There is no equivalent in football. I guess I would say Maryland is the place that would, but it's easy to get to. Maryland when they're not good is like, yeah. In terms of people not caring, Rutgers or Maryland at some level. But it's a good question. There is no equivalent. Penn State basketball is all on its own. It's so hard to get to, and they just don't care. And people live so far away from there. It's hard for them to get to it. That's why they're like a 6:30 weeknight game is just barren and empty. It sucks.
Fart Soup next. Number 1, Jason, have you ever celebrated Festivus? The family airing of grievances would be legendary. I'd do that, I think.
Have you ever done?
No. I don't. What is it?
It's like the Seinfeld thing, where that's all you do is you just say everything you don't like about it. We could do it on this show. Like next year, we could.
Then we celebrated Festivus every year in my family.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we did Festivus a lot, I think. 2, Graham, have you ever gotten Lady Couch one of your non-gifts, seen the look on her face and thought, Couch, you fucked up this time? 3, which of these very real, very legitimate businesses should I get Miss Fart Soup a gift card to? Number 1. Hawaii Spa in Shartucky. 2, the Hot House in North Lansing. Oh, man. 3, L.A. Spa in Portland. L.A. Spa. And 4, our new your new sponsor for 26, Omar's in downtown Lansing.
Right.
Crazy thing is Omar should never be like incorporated with these other ones.
Omar's a little
Hot House is a legitimate hot tub business, allegedly. I don't know why. But L.A. Spa. I mean, imagine L.A. Spa, the masseuse there sees Mrs. Fart Soup walk in, probably be so excited. Not a fat guy wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God, a female.
So I would, yeah.
I don't have to tug on a mule.
If you have to choose these choices, it would be between Hot House and Omar's. Probably Omar's. Because Omar's, you could go to the steakhouse next door. You could do something. You can make it a night.
I serve food there.
I would stay away from the Hawaii Spa or L.A. Spa if I were you. I've never
those sponsorships.
I have never gotten Elizabeth a gift and thought I fucked up this time. I mean, the vacuum. See, the thing about the vacuum year and the year that also had like a mattress topper is the mattress topper she needed, number 1. But number 2, I also knew shortly I'd be giving her a wedding ring, so I knew I could overcome whatever we were doing. It wasn't going to be that night that her uncle had ruined that for me, but marriage was coming. I knew I was going to make her happy at some point. Whether she's happy years later, I don't know. But I knew that night she would be happy, at least.
Hans Jurgen. Number 1, Jason's criticisms of the refs angers the sports gods. Fuck the refs, dude. 2, bad college quarterbacks make the best coaches, right? 3, Ebling interviewed Bulla again and still didn't ask about the suspension. Doesn't he listen to the show? Did he really? Bonus.
Yeah.
Why did Izzo give the bench players so many minutes? Was he trying to keep it close?
The worst part is Ebling. Ebling does that sometimes where he texts you the show or whatever, thinking you'll share it or whatever. I knew he didn't ask. I'm not going to share a show where he didn't ask Bulla the question.
He did?
He texted me the show. He's like, Graham, he thought you might want to hear this. I'm like,
hear what? He's just, that he's hired?
Well, no.
And he's glad to be back?
I think it was probably a good interview otherwise. But, yeah, you have to ask the question or you don't do the interview. That's me. That's just me. And I know that makes it awkward, but there's a way to go about it.
Why would you send it out? Like, why would you? He's obviously proud of that interview. He doesn't send you all of the interviews, right? So he was proud of that. But it's like, okay, well, what did you get that?
Yeah, I don't.
That no one else. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's fucking 2025 here. Jake Hawkins, number 1. I really don't know what the city of Detroit did to upset the football gods, the NFL, whoever. But whatever it was, it's so bad that they don't want the city or the Lions to even have a taste of going to the Super Bowl, let alone winning one. Life sure isn't fair.
Nope.
And 2, the missed golden opportunity from the NFC Championship game in San Francisco stings even more. You ain't lying, Hawk. It's almost like a distant memory that's fading farther and farther and farther away. Yesterday, another harsh lesson is not taking the points in the first quarter. Take them, Dan.
Yeah, that did. I mean, yes. Yeah.
He's not done. 22 points from Cohen Carr is good, but that game Saturday from those Oakland Grizzlies gave me a scare. Also, Cheap Illich. Tarek Skubal showed this past weekend that he loves Detroit. Get him signed. Like John Malkovich says with an accent in Rounders, pay that man his money.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Pay that man his money.
It would be amazing if they did it.
I splash the pot whenever the fuck I want.
They're not going to do it. They're not. Yeah.
It's a great movie. I need to watch Rounders again.
It is a great movie.
I love that movie so much.
They celebrate Chris Illich when he allows them to sign a second baseman for $12 million or something. I mean, they have to kiss his ass. I just want to. I think as frustrating as Scott Harris is, I want Illich gone. And I think this year, if at some point fans are going to have to take it upon themselves. You have to stop being the happy clappy fan base at Comerica Park. You don't.
Dude, that guy booed for 4 straight hours. By the way, he kind of looked like Jake Hawkins. Hawk. It might have been your brother. You guys have the same passion for real. That guy was awesome. Jerk guy, finally here. The NFL has it out to keep the Lions down. You decide whether that's a bake take or not. Bonus. Josiah Scott needs to start at the 2. He is this year's Jace Richardson.
Josiah Scott is no longer on the MSU football team, but Jordan Scott is on the MSU basketball team. So I would say you meant Jordan Scott there.
Why didn't you help him out? Maybe he typoed, and obviously he didn't mean Josiah Scott. And now I read it. Now everybody think what happened? He can't even help the jerk guy out during the holidays.
I trust the jerk guy so much. He doesn't make mistakes. I'm surprised by this. I didn't pre-read.
But you knew you did not.
I did not pre-read his.
So you just type without looking.
No, I copy and paste and usually read them through. But I trust him, or I trust that he's not going to cross the line.
Man, you let him down. Though.
I apologize. I will not do that.
You could have totally just.
It's the way we should end 2025.
Maybe I should have known. Then I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not great. No, I think he's going to play a lot. I think he's going to grow into the season even more and more and be a bigger part of things. I would start Kurt Tang. I think it matters more to Kurt Tang that he starts. I think it's a good way to find that the matchup is his early in games and worked for him. He's shooting well enough overall. 40% from 3 this year. I would go with Kurt Tang. And doesn't mean you don't finish the Jordan Scott. Doesn't mean he doesn't play a huge role. But Kurt Tang would be the guy. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you all in 2025. We appreciate you all these years, especially those of you who've been with us a long time. Those who have joined late, we appreciate you as well. Have a Merry Christmas. Be safe. If your family gets to be too much for you, get yourself a Muskox flannel. Go to Midtown Brewing Company, whatever it is. Buy
Happy
yourself,
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Kwanzaa.
Absolutely. Buy yourself some groovy donuts. Make that part of your holiday. We will be back maybe on the 29th next Monday, but probably not till the new year.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. But if enough happens and we're inspired, you may hear from us again this year. Otherwise, have a happy and safe new year as well. Couch in the Rube, produced by you. I'm fucking up the end of the year. Presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go Muskox.com. Peacock is the promo code. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.